increased will be more the rule and not the exception. Do we like this idea?
Ooh, boy. Well, I like it in this sense. Big Ben he likes playing out of the shotgun. Now, when you do this, you better have a back that can block. And I think Bell now is ready to pick up as far as protection, because you're talking about a one-back offense for the most part, spreading your edges out, but Ben can handle that. The hardest thing when you play the Pittsburgh Steelers is tackling Big Ben when he starts scrambling. So this kind of fits his mindset.
So the thing you have to understand about running a no-huddle offense is everybody's got to be tuned in to the same exact look. So as an offensive line, you walk out, and that's exactly what you're doing. You're looking at what guys are doing. So I'll show you exactly kind of how this operates.
You be the quarterback.
I'll be the quarterback. So you guys be a couple of safeties, two high safeties there. So we'll give you a look right here. So as soon as we break the huddle, and we walk up the line of scrimmage, I'm looking. We got two high safeties. That means favorable run look, okay? So we know that right away. Nobody's enforced, nobody's buzzing down. So we know we've got a favorable box for us that we want to run in. Then we start looking for favorable sides. So, Herm, you stand here, be a nose guard, okay? You be a defensive end. Wendy, you be my linebacker right there.
Oh, Wendy, be the linebacker.
Okay.
So now we'll sit there and say, okay, we had the two high safeties, correct? Now all of a sudden we walk up and go, we got a favorable look. We got a bubble guard, meaning I'm not covered. Nose guard on the center, defensive end on the offensive tackle. Now we say, we're just going to run it here. So we'll say, whatever our code is, let's say it's 50. Yellow 50, yellow 50. We're going to run 50 gut. Hut up! I just come off, I've got this favorable look, and we've got this wide open hole with two high safeties back there. So that's how we run it. And then obviously, if they've got a safety down or we get a favorable pass look, we'll just call it and run that play. But you have to all be tuned in, all 11 guys, to the exact same thing that you're looking at, and that comes with game planning, and that comes during your week of preparation.
With game planning and preparation, but clearly, Mark, it seems to make sense that the more you do it, the more a part of it is in your offense. It's got to be easier, right? I mean, it's got to become more second nature.
And certainly, and because everybody is so tied in, everybody knows exactly what that quarterback's going to do. And so it puts a lot of pressure on you as a defense to be able to change things up and be able to give us a look that we're not expecting.
Well, what about the defense?
Well, defensively, first of all, Antonio played middle linebacker. He's going to have to make sure we have calls for the formation and where the back is lined up. That's going to be the key to it. Where is the back? Is he to the right? Is he to the left? There's going to be certain things they do when they line up. And then the back end, if you're a safety, you have to be in communication. That's the problem. You've got to communicate along your front and your back end to make sure you're in sync, and if you're not, it becomes a big play.
What makes Peyton Manning in particular the best at running this type of offense?
Well, I think just how he uses the play clock, right? Well, when he wants to, so he's always going to have the final say.
Antonio makes a great point. Peyton Manning is trying to read your mail, basically, and you cannot let him read your mail. Once he reads your mail, in other words, he sees two safeties high, as Mark said, now I'm going to run the football. He sees a safety down, then all of a sudden he's going to pass the ball. So you have to disguise it, and the play clock is critical. You cannot show your disguise until after 5 seconds before that clock ends, because then he can't come out of the play.
He's good enough without tipping your hand. No. You tip your hand, then all bets are off.